Alright then, my people, welcome to the Bright Show podcast, Boxing. Now before we start this episode, please do me a favour, click on the like button, subscribe and leave your comments in the section below because I really want to know what you thought about this fight. ZHILEI Big Bang Zhang has knocked Deontay Wilder out cold. Literally out cold. Devastating right hand, and then followed up with another right hand. And that was it. That's all she wrote for Wilder. Lying on the canvas and basically helpless. It's over for Deontay Wilder. It's done. He's done. He's finished. He's done. I don't think we will ever see Deontay Wilder in the ring ever again. I think he's done. It's finished. Finished. I mean, before the fight, Wilder was talking about how he's got the eye of the tiger back and how he's resurrected the old Wilder back and how he wants a body on his record and how he's going to knock Zhang out. I mean, I saw a lot of interviews, from Malik Scott talking about how Wilder has been sending sparring partners to the hospital during sparring for the camp, for the Zhang fight. And so, there's a lot of talk, and Deontay Wilder has got a massive ego and he loves to talk about how he's going to knock people out. But I think, he's done. I think he's just finished. Those fights with Fury were just taxing on his body. The first fight, Fury fight, he didn't have much damage in that fight, but it was the second fight where he took, a lot of punishment, and of course got stopped. And then the third fight where he took some more punishment and then got stopped. He got knocked out, spark out against Fury. And I think those two fights plus the first fight has just taken everything out of Wilder. Literally, there's nothing left there. He was fighting like a man that knows that he cannot take anything that will come back, to him. He was fighting like a man that didn't have enough confidence like he used to have. He was fighting like a man that was just had no energy, had no desire, had no heart. It just seemed like he was taking this fight because they offered him a lot of money and he couldn't resist it. But he was just a shadow of himself. I mean, don't get me wrong, Deontay Wilder has not been, he's never been the most polished, technically gifted fighter. He's a gunslinger, right? He loads up the right hand and 1-2 down the pipe and he gets you out of there. That's all he does. He's a one-trick pony, but that's one hell of a trick that he used to have. He doesn't have it anymore and he's finished. For Zhang, fantastic win. He moves on to the next. Is he going to be the one fighting AJ at Wembley in September? We're yet to see if they will announce that fight. But yeah, he looked old in there, Zhang, as well. Wasn't throwing a lot of punches. He never does, really. He's very crafty. I mean, he's an Olympian, so he knows how to move. He knows how to set his shots up. He knows how to time his opponents. He's not the quickest when it comes to his footwork. He's not the quickest when it comes to his hand speed, but he's got fantastic timing. He's got great timing, and of course he's got dynamite in his hands, Zhang, and he can bang, and he wasn't throwing a lot of punches, just like Wilder also wasn't throwing a lot of punches. So it was a fight where there wasn't a lot of punches being thrown, but Zhang just looked like the more energized fighter in there. He just looked like the better fighter. He just looked like the man with the most confidence in there. He just looked like he was the only one that is assured in that ring, and Wilder just looked dejected and a shadow of himself, really. But yeah, the fight started with not much being thrown. It was a cagey. The first 2, 3, or 4 rounds was really cagey. Wilder, he was just pouring with his jab and trying to look for an open for the right hand, which he threw a few times, but never really landed flush. Zhang, he was of course boxing side on because he's a southpaw, so he boxes side on, and his lead hand, he was just basically getting Wilder, trying to get Wilder to be busy looking at his lead hand. That was what Zhang was doing in there, and he was of course sometimes putting the backhand to Wilder's body just to get his mind away from where he was going to put his backhand, which is his money shot at. So it was a fight where it was not much work in there. It was less punches being thrown. Both guys were really cautious, especially with Wilder. Zhang was cautious, but he just seemed that he had a game plan. He seemed as though he knew what he was doing, and it was only a matter of time he gets to Wilder and knocks him and knock him out, and he did. I believe it's either round 8 or round 7. He sort of got Wilder to. I mean, before that round, actually, Wilder had a very good round where he, threw some right hands, and it felt like the old Deontay Wilder was coming back, and he tried to follow up in a round where he got knocked out, and he tried to throw his right hand Wilder, and Zhang really dipped and countered with his right hook. Wilder then spun. He looked confused, he looked dazed, he looked like he didn't know where he was, and then Zhang just jumped on him and followed up with another right hook, which rendered Wilder back on the canvas, on his back, looking up in the sky, thinking, "What the hell am I doing here? What day is what day is it?" Basically, was asking while he was on the canvas. So look, fantastic win for Zhang. He goes again. Beating Deontay Wilder at this time in his career, it's a good win. You can take that because he's still got that right hand, but he hasn't got no belief at all. Sorry, and it's evident to see in this fight that Deontay Wilder is finished. It's done, and he's been knocked out. So look, Zhang, maybe he goes on to fight AJ or he fights Dubois. That'll be a great fight. Deontay Wilder, he's got to go back home, lick his wounds, dust himself up, and I think he's got to hang it up because I don't think there's anything left in him at the top level at all. It's really unfortunate that we never got to see that Deontay Wilder AJ fight, because that would be a fantastic fight for the fans, right? But we never got to see it because of boxing politics and all the nonsense that goes around in boxing. But it's really unfortunate that we never got to see the fight with Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. But at the same time, he's had a good career. Deontay Wilder, made fantastic money for himself, set his family up for life. He's won a world champion, and he goes, he bows out and goes and enjoy his retirement. I think he should at this point. But you guys, let me know what you think about this fight. What do you think about Zhang's performance? What do you think about Deontay Wilder's performance? Do you think it's over from? Do you think he should hang it up and basically call it a day? Let me know in the comment section below. Of course, as always, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and there's more boxing content coming. I'll see you on the next one.